Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and praise and greetings may be brought out to the praise Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The musician YOLA MERINABS is a lecturer in linguistics. We have group for the presentation the result of a group discussion. Before we present the result of group discussion, we will introduce ourselves first. Okay, the first discuss will be discussed by myself, namely pragmatics. What is pragmatics? Pragmatic is a branch of linguistics that studies the relationship between context outside of language and the intent of speech. And the context outside of language is an element outside of speech that affects the intent of speech. Intent cannot be seen from the form and meaning alone, but also from the place and time of speaking. And which include the purpose, the form of speak, the way of delivery, the means of speaking, norms, and categories. Yes, the most appropriate is in speak acts, interaction, external factors such as dexis. That's all. And here from some opinion from experts on pragmatics. According to Levision, pragmatic is the study of the relationship between language and context on which to base consideration understand the language. And opinion leaks. What is pragmatic? In opinion leaks, pragmatic is the study of ability language to adapt a sentence to the context so that they can use appropriately. Then some other pragmatic meanings. Pragmatic is the study of meaning in relation with situation conversation. That's a calm opinion from experts on pragmatics. In essence, an important notion in pragmatic is language user. Use of language and context. In other words, if translate is pragmatic, learn how people use a language in a specific context. Pragmatic examines a speaker's intention in a speech used to understanding the meaning of speech or sentence in speech pragmatic. Or it can be called text. Yes, become does not apply this context. Text is not in context. With text actually not just a writing discourse content, but a content which is brighter, normally speak particular discourse. Okay, in the conclusion from the above explanation reaffirms the importance of their inner context, speak, speak, product text, and understand the meaning of the speak. The is what it is. The is science of pragmatic studies, and namely understanding the meaning of speak, text, through context, and speak has meaning if it is if it is, and accompanied by it is accompanied by context. Of course, the referred context referred to is the context that is shared between the speaker and his partner. His side. Context is in the human mind, contains information or chronology, which is the basic for speaking or understanding speak. That's all. Mm, okay, that's just some explanation about pragmatics. And next, my colleagues Effie and Leah will explain about the literature. Next.
Hello guys, my name is Eviani and I'm from class 19A, and now I will explain about material of implicature. The theory of conversational implicature is presented by Paul Herbert Guys. Grace started that in conversation what is meant by speaker over time, beyond what is spoken by speakers. In other words, meaning else or this attention can be inferred and predictable based on the context. Grace distinguishes speech from the intent of the speaker of his speech. Uh, what the speaker says can be understood using semantic knowledge from the meaning of the words that are spoken. Meanwhile, what is intended, the speaker should use pragmatic abilities. Types of implicature are divided into two kinds, namely the conversational implicature and conversation. Conversational implicature is an implicature that arises from word of phrases use this in sentence or utterances be related with that understanding semantic is used from interpret the implication. Types of conversation implications. Steps. She Levinson divided conversational implicatures are of two kinds. That is, number one, the implicature of a special conversation and the implicature of general conversation. The first implicature is implicature in its meaning really depend on certain feature from context. Principles of cooperation and maxims conversation according to Gright basically each party trying to cooperate in communicating so communication can run smoothly accordingly with the goal. With that governed in by Grudge called the Prince Corporation with contained make your conversational contribution such as is required, required at the stage at which a call occurs by the accepted purpose or direction of the thought exchange in which what are engaged. Grace complements Peaky theory with the second theory, namely the theory of speech maxim, or MP. MP theory consists of four maxims as follows. Number one, maxim of quality, stating that in saying that something honestly, then this maxim is made clear with two sub-maxims. A. Don't say anything you believe to be wrong. And B. Don't say anything proof of truth is not sufficient. And number two, the maxim of quantity is intended in order, say as much as that needed. Make your contribution as informative as needed. Please don't make your contribution more than necessary. Number three, maxim of relevance. Having sub-maxim, make your contribution which is relevant. Maxim means having a sub-maxim, avoid obscurity, avoid ambiguity, so regular MP theory is basically governing how people use language in communicating. In communicating, people must be honest, informative, relevant, and clear. Three dot times set the content first speech, and maxim of the fourth set the voice of speaking. If we are not the four maxim proposed by Christ seems simple. Point. However, with MP, we can observe and evaluate or analyze conversation. A thing cannot be done by linguistics structural when a speaker doesn't obey MP. Speech partner of listener must be alert that there is another meaning or meaning added in speaker speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Angelina and I will continue the implication material that has been delivered MP. How to identify implication, conflict with MP. In the beginning, it was explained that MP regulated how people communicate. When communicating, possibility were taken by speaker associated with MP as following. A. Comply with MP or observe the maxim. Obey MP means all maxims in MP really pay attention and become that basic argumentation or assumption. Basically, all participants' conversation will work together. B. Listeners' MP or blood maxim. That is, speakers deliberately do not obey one or more maxims with the knowledge of the speech partner. C. Related MP or violet maxim. That is, speakers deliberately violating principles, cooperation, and MP without the knowledge of the partner. Example, lying. In case A and D do not have an implicature because in a fulfill all maxims, and D can say not cooperate. In case of lying, for example, speech partners do not have knowledge at all what the speaker is provide correct information or not. to give signal to the speaker that he has avoided the maxims to reduce maxim effect. Conflict with the principle of courtesy. In communication is also needed. Another principle is the principle of politeness, polite. Between them, A. Maxim of wisdom. This maxim mandates the profit maximizing speakers or minimize losses for speech partner when communicating. B. Maxim of praise. This maxim is indicated by the speaker's willingness to give appreciation or praise to partner. C. The maxim of humility. In this maxim, it is virtue that speaker show humility. Humility hurt by minimizing praise to yourself and maximizing respect to yourself. D. Maxim of consensus. This maxim is characterized by being agreement or reach similarity of thought between speaker and said partner. Here is the attitude of confrontation try to be avoided. Forsake maintain harmony with partners said. Courtesy. Implication is closely related to courtesy. Politeness is connected with the rules that apply in a particular society. In the society, always has rules mutually agree upon who becomes habits, customs, and moral guidance. There are things that are taboo or inappropriate, cannot simply be disclosed direct and straightforward. Aesthetic of language. It cannot be denied that it is human like freedom express opinions, and freedom of language. In the world of literature, we recognize the existence of poetry, namely works, literature that uses a lot of language figurative to embellish in conveying the meaning, that beauty individual, distinctive, and frequent exaggerated. These qualities are what causing conflict with the NP. In poetry, it is simply impossible to convey facts. It will boring and uninteresting. Poetry needs style, beauty, peculiarity, must be entertaining and interesting. That's what makes poetry can inspire the imagination readers. And last, irony. Irony is the delivery of speech that meaning contradicts his speech with the aim of sarcasm, even to make fun. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello guys, my name is WEDY Kusuma. You can call me WEDY. I'm from class 19A English Education. I will explain presupposition and start. In the branch of linguistics known as pragmatics, a presupposition is an implicit assumption about the world of background belief. Relations to utterances whose text is taken for granted is discourse. Examples of presupposition include: have you stopped eating meat? Presupposition: you had once eaten meat. A preposition must be mutually known or assumed to be speaker or addresses for the uncreated to be considered appropriate in context. It will generally remain necessary assumption which is placed in the form as a question, detail, or question, and can be executed with a special lexical item or grammatic feature in the occurrence. Frequently, negative of expression does not change its preposition. Example, I want to do it again and I don't want to do it again. Both prepose that the subject has done is already one or more times. My wife is pregnant again and my wife is not pregnant again. But prepose that the subject is a wife. In this respect, preposition is distinct from entailment and implicature. For example, the president was incident external that the president is dead. But if the expression is negative, the entailment is not necessarily true. Thank you.